Hello. Hello. Welcome back to Entropyhourglass, which is a series of intimate conversations between me, Nuno, and Sofia. And today we have guests, like we said in the last episode, we would have guests. And we are joined by Utsav and Krishna. Just to explain a bit, you can say hi.
Hi.
Hello. Utsav is a colleague of Sofia from work. And so we are here in a beautiful Sunday afternoon in a park, and it's sunny in Frankfurt, so
we are lucky.
Lucky day. And we'll just once again talk with other people, not only us talking to each other, which is good. So I think it's important for them listening to know who are these guests of ours that we invited into our podcast. So I don't know.
And for that, what we thought that could be nice for them to know, because of the question that we have, would be like obviously your name, because they will then recognize your voice. And how old are you? Because we are talking about relationships, and that might be interesting. And where are you from?
Okay, I can start. Hi, my name is Utsav. I'm 27 years old. Yeah, 27 years old. I come from Mumbai, India. I work in finance with Sofia. And now it's over to Krishna.
Hi, my name is Krishna. And we are of same age. I'm 27. And I'm also from Mumbai, India. And I'm currently Utsav's wife. Professionally, I'm his wife. And I'm looking for job opportunities. Yeah.
Fun fact about us, we have birthdays one day apart.
Yeah.
Same year, same month. Yeah, soon.
1 day apart.
Only 1 day apart.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really interesting.
It's me doing the questions?
No, you wanted to say something?
No, I was just... okay, so I will go through the questions. You can answer or not. You decide, obviously, and you can also answer question things to us back wherever you want. So our question was like, when and how did you meet?
Okay, so we met 2.5 years back, and it may sound strange, but we met through our parents and relatives, and that's how we started dating or knowing each other. And it was 2.5 years back.
So your parents, both of them, knew each other before?
No, in India it's a bit strange. So it's like when you want to get married or something like that. So usually, in Western countries you go to, you go to Tinder, and then you swipe right or left and you see girls, right? So in India it's not like that. I mean, it's like that. Like if when you are young you do that, but when you want to get married you don't generally go to these dating websites. So it's similar in concept of this dating websites, but what you have is basically within the same community, people like for me, I'm from region in Gujarat, and then she's also Gujarati, so it helps that if they're from the same community, speak same language, then you can gel well with the family and stuff like that. So then usually your parents help out with them, so they kind of they have a list of contacts, so they know who is of marriageable age and stuff like that, and then it's similar. So you
probable
have
prospects for the marriage.
So it's then you have like a Tinder, so you have list of photographs, and then you choose you have some I don't know, some description written there on about how you are, what you like and stuff, and then you can decide, okay, so I like this person, I want to know them better, and then you can start talking to them, and then eventually if you both like, then you date, and then you get to know a bit more better, but it goes via parents. So
Okay.
and it sounds a bit weird, but
but it's like Tinder, I guess.
it's like different. Tinder, but parents approved Tinder.
Parents approved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think our parents would match us?
That was impossible. How could that happen? Because in our case we were just in the same university in the same year. Our parents would never know each other. We were from different districts.
Yeah, in Portugal, I'm from the south.
So our parents would never meet. So it's a bit different, because I feel like in Europe or in Western countries, everything is up to us, I guess, to find people. If I was single and we were in the park, I would be it would be okay for me to approach anyone if I wanted to.
Know
I guess.
more about the person.
Yeah, and say hi, just talk and go from there.
I think that is also the thing in India, but in our cases, we couldn't find anyone.
Okay.
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 No, it's not like I've dated before and quite a long time, and she also dated someone, but usually I don't know, like after some time you know whether you want to be with that person or not, right? And then you introduce to your parents, and then they like it or not. And it usually helps if they're, like I said before, like if they like speak the same language, so they can also communicate. Like if you have like same cultural values, like, so to say, so you follow the same festivals, you know the background. So yeah, I mean, you date someone and then you can choose to marry them, but sometimes it doesn't work out, right? And then usually in such cases, like parents are like, okay, so we like if you want, we can find someone for you, and then they're like, yeah, sure, why not? And then it's just like, okay, I mean, they know the community better than us, so they know like who's there available, and then yeah, it's not like someone will force you to marry this girl. Like it's just like same like Tinder, right? So you see whether the exactly.
Yeah.
I think if you have that many barriers of culture, different communities, I think it makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand. Yeah. In our case, it wouldn't be. Yeah, you can find the person like in a different country. You can find the person, I don't know, in Spain or Italy, and their culture is a bit similar to yours.
But the episode that we wanted to record with our friends in Utrecht that we didn't, it was about that because Nunu's friend that we went to visit is dating someone that is from Netherlands. He is Portuguese, so they have this like language barrier.
They talk in English.
So it's not their mother language, that not the one that they are more comfortable with. That. So we were curious. We talked about that, but we didn't.
Yeah,
record
we just didn't record.
It was nice.
Question another?
If you want, I did all them.
No, you can continue.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Okay. So the different, like you already mentioned a little bit, but just so everyone understands. For how long do you date before getting married normally?
I would say it differs from person to person, situations to situations. People do tend to date for at least a year and a half before getting married. In our case, it was a period of 8 to 9 months, I would say. Yeah, and it's a good thing that we got married early, but at the same time, we wanted to date further. But since he was in Germany and I was back in India, this long distance things we were not liking it. So that's why we decided after 8 months that let's get married.
It depends. I mean, there are some people who date for like a decade and then they get married, and someone who only knows someone for like 2 months and then decide to marry. So it's a very different thing. And so there's like, you cannot say like at a timeline, okay, there's like at least like you date for a year and then you get married. So it's very different from
person to person.
But is the marriage always the end goal, or is people can just date?
Yeah, it is the end goal. I mean, so Indian communities are still a bit conservative that way. So, I mean, you can live together and then, I don't know, like just not get married, but it's not something that society accepts quite
openly.
Freely. So people then usually tend to be married. Then it's just easier for them to live their lives, because then someone's knocking on your door and like, why are you living with that person? So it's still a bit conservative, but it's getting there.
I understand.
Yeah.
Do you think it's completely different from in Portugal? Like people not tend to get married?
I think it's not. I don't think so anymore. You can just be with someone and not get married, and it would be just the same.
Yeah, it's getting more and more normal for people not to get married, but living together or even creating a family and not being married. It's getting more common nowadays.
Yeah, it's just.
I think it's because it's also very expensive, the marriage. So it's like an investment for the party, and I don't know, people
don't really have a lot of money to do it. And I don't know. It's also a lot associated with religion, and it stopped making sense for a lot of people to be religious and to follow the traditions. So they would just get that part of the plan and just be together and have kids and whatever. And I think society accepts, and even the government legally accepts people that are like together but not married, and it's basically the same.
I think we already have like a status that is like partners or
union. It's like a union facto. It's a union.
Yeah, they are
They are
united,
together.
but
not married.
Yeah. And here in Germany, it's the same.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
We can be just cohabiting with each other,
Mhm.
and it makes us like a partnership without being married.
I have a question. What if someone doesn't find partner in Portugal? Then does parents get involved, and is that the scenario or no?
No,
It can be like.
it can be, but it's very rare.
But that's really weird. If someone would say, "Yeah, I get help from my parents to get me a date," it would be like, "What are you doing? What are you talking about?"
Okay.
It would be very weird.
So there are people, and it's quite sad, I think, but there are people that cannot find a partner, and they just stay alone in their.
Yeah, the people that can stay alone for a lot because they're not. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, sorry. There's no way for a person to just go somewhere or their parents or wherever.
Now there is like the apps, but
but
some years ago there was no
right.
Tinder or other kind of apps. So yeah, people sometimes just stayed alone forever, which is kind of sad.
yeah.
But yeah, it happened, and they don't ask for help with it.
It's not really an issue that we talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think in India, it's always good to have a companionship of someone or partner, more from a spouse perspective, and it's like it's not acceptable. Okay, if you are 35 and you are still single, people start doubting, what's something wrong with that person? It's like that. So I think it's pretty common that people are married, and if it's not love marriage, then there is a term. It's arranged marriage. Yeah. So, but yeah, majority of I would say 95% you will find everyone is married and everyone is settled by 30ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be typically our conservative way of seeing things. Like if we were here 50 years ago, 60 years ago, that would be the norm, and people who would be 35 would be considered and not settled would be considered like
Yeah, for sure.
it's not really, there's something wrong.
And also in the past, like I don't know, even 40 years ago, it was normal for the guy to ask the aunt, we say it in English,
to give permission
to ask the parents permission to
marry.
to marry.
girls.
Like your parents
My father
did that for
my mother. Asked permission.
Yeah.
Not anymore?
No, they don't do anymore.
I don't do it anymore, but yeah.
Nuno didn't have to ask anything from my father.
I would if need be. I would have done it.
And do you think it's just formality nowadays, or it does really matter that the girl's parents are saying yes and no? Like
it always matters because you're living with that person and you adopt a family into your family.
Yeah, it's
So in
important
that
that they
sense,
accept you and somehow like you. I think that makes everything
easier. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's the case, at least for me, when I'm really well accepted by your family. And it makes it a lot easier, yes. So it's important, not directly, but it's important.
Yeah.
We could get married without anyone like.
Saying no, you should not.
If everyone would say no, we could get married just the same, I guess.
But, yeah.
But it would be, I guess, against people, and that would not be really stable for us. If everyone around us was, against. But that's with everything.
Yeah. I think like in the other case, so just to be transparent, like Nuno's father really likes me, I think, and your brother as well. I feel it. Nuno's mother is less open. I don't know how to.
How would you describe it?
At the beginning, she always called me.
Yeah, there's an important thing. Yeah, because she called her the name of my ex, and because I was with my ex for a lot of time. It was like 7 years, which was a lot. And so, it's a bit of a barrier because I'm a different person. I'm a different person, and she's completely different. And having that approach from my mother, I guess it did not help for her to to not really see that I was with a different person. And
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same or not in India, but normally the mothers of guys are more close to them, and they feel they are more
close to me.
picky, choosing the person that can be together with the guy.
Yeah, the mothers normally.
But
Yeah.
it's different. Like it's the same. Like for fathers of the girls, they are also a little bit more picky in terms of who can date the girl.
Right. I think it's not a region specific or area specific. It's just human psychology
Yeah.
that fathers are always protective about their girls and they
Yeah.
want the best guy. And it's the same goes with the mother. Like she wants the replica of herself. For the,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, and
It's just
Sophia
human
is not.
psychology, I believe. It's not some
Yeah.
related to country or
Yeah.
religion or region or anything like that.
Yeah, Sophia is definitely not similar to my mother.
Yeah, that can be like a challenge, but it's
Yeah.
okay. We
I
might,
think
like,
there is also a
we
generation
manage.
thing. Like
yeah.
the generation, like our mothers is of different generation altogether, and we are of a different generation. So
Yeah, we have to
Respect.
put things in perspective
yeah,
and like deal with it.
yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
So
You can
but
go.
You need the mic.
So the next question, which is somehow related with this, it's what is the most important thing for each of you in a partner?
And a partner, for me, I would say understanding and caring. It's completely all right to have different opinions on one particular thing, but it's important for me that he understands and respects my perspective or my. We can be different. We can be different on the same thing. Like we can have different approach or different perspective about one particular thing, but he respects that. That is very important for me. And caring, it has to be that most important thing. So yeah, and I'm lucky that he has both of those things. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, I think it was, so I had a few things that I always wanted in a person, like in a partner. So one was that the compatibility. So I mean, it's kind of important, right? So you're gonna spend the rest of your life with that person, so you have to be compatible. The other thing was like a bit ambitious. So like I don't know, some people are just like quite laid back and like I don't know, just want to chill in life.
Yeah.
And I always wanted someone like a person who's always ambitious towards life, to like want to learn more, want to explore the world. So yeah, so those characteristics, and then of course it's the caring and the understanding and the lovable part, and then yeah.
And also there was a thing that we both want to travel. So yeah, that was important for me, that traveling is something which we must do at least once or twice a year. And he was also of the same opinion that traveling.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
interests. So you,
Yeah.
so you have like same interests. with
So
your partner.
compatibility.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think for us it's quite similar.
For me, I think it's very important that the person I'm with is very mature emotionally. So, I don't know, imagine we are fighting and it doesn't feel that I'm attacking him like a person that he is, but we are just in a fighting mode, and sometimes we don't agree on things, and it's normal, and we can pass through that.
And also the opposite, when you're not fighting, when we are
yeah.
like having or you're feeling good, or you're feeling or you like accomplish something, and me to acknowledge that and be happy for the
Yeah,
person.
yeah, right.
And the same back at
Yeah.
me. That's where the emotional capacity
Yeah, I
plays a
think
role.
that's very important for me. I like that Utsav said ambition, because I never thought that in that terms, but it's very important for me to have at least more or less the same goal at the end of life.
Yeah.
So I know that I want to make money and save money now to have a more free life in the future, and I will not be with the person that is just like, oh, I will spend all my money now and I don't care about I don't know, the future, and
Money is a big issue, right? For every partner.
You have to be aligned in terms of
Yeah.
money. If you want to spend a lot, or if you want to save more now, I think it's important to be aligned on that.
Yeah, you have to talk about it, otherwise you reach a point and then you will understand, like, okay, this is not matching with the other. Yeah.
True. the clarity about financial planning is something important. Yeah, agreed.
Definitely.
Good.
You want to, I'm doing all the questions.
Yeah, I'm talking as well. I think they're probably hearing the birds,
Yeah, that's
which
nice.
is nice for them. Where are we?
Follow up.
No. The Indian and European.
I think they spoke about it.
Yeah, I think that's answered, but then the other doesn't make a lot of sense. So, yeah, we wanted also for you to talk a bit about how does the marriage happen in India in the sense of the traditions, like how does it work? Or is the ceremony, or how, because it's a big difference from the way we do things, and
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting.
Mhm.
If you could talk a bit about how that works.
Yeah. So, as you said, like it depends if you are financially capable of throwing a party when you're getting married. That is also there in India. If you are not, then people just opt for court marriages, which is just you go in the court in front of judge, you sign the documents, and you are married. That is one way. The another way is grand celebration, and that's what we did in our wedding. And when I say grand celebration, the expenses of a marriage can vary from family to family on the scale of, say, few thousands to hundred of thousands. It's the scale is like it's just it's too broad. And in our case, it was a two-day wedding ceremony.
There's
Are you-
also like
But that happens individually at your place and
but
my
it's
place.
just- it's
Okay,
like part
yeah.
of a
Okay.
ceremony.
So it was a 3-day wedding. The first day, my family and it's just my family is at my place and his family is at his place. And there was this henna,
You know?
it's
You
mehendi.
got it.
What is-
Henna.
henna, like
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
drawings.
Yeah.
So that is the first step. Like
Okay.
that is the first ceremony that happens when a girl is going to get married or a guy is going to get married. So that was the first day of the beginning of my marriage, where I was there. I'm going into too much detail because
We can go.
yeah, like it's most those days were the beautiful days of my life. Like I still get goosebumps when I talk about those days. It was a mixed emotion roller coaster ride. Yeah, so I was sitting for 6 hours. Yeah,
Wow.
in one position, and there were 2 girls who were drawing henna on my hand and my legs.
Oh.
Yeah, and the rest of my family, they had a small design, and rest of them, my friends, were dancing in front of me to entertain me, so that I don't get bored while
Yeah.
sitting for 6 hours. So that took place at my home, and that was the first day. It started somewhere in the 11 a.m. in the morning, and it lasted till 4-5 p.m. So that whole day was just music and dancing and eating and all that. Then the second day, the first night, he arrived at my hometown with his family and relatives and all. Then the second day, the first half, we got engaged. There's a ceremony. We exchanged drinks. There's some ritual.
I mean, we got engaged way before, but
Yeah,
this was
yeah.
just like a ceremonial engagement. It's like, I don't know, some religious thing. It's
Yeah,
like,
so we just call it engagement ceremony.
Okay.
Although we
we got engaged quite a long time ago.
yeah.
But yeah, it was basically I think there was a priest there, and then he reads some prayers,
Yeah.
and then there were 2 families who come together, and then you exchange rings. So you don't exchange drinks during marriage, you exchange drinks before. So that's what happens then.
Yeah.
And then
So that was the first half.
yeah, that was first.
Then in the second half, after the first half, we had lunch, and then lunch. I would say food when it comes to India, it's super important. Like it's it will compromise of 30 to 40% of the marriage expenses. It's that important, and
yeah, like 50 varieties
yeah,
every day.
Okay.
every day, every meal. I would
Every
say
meal, yeah.
every
so
meal
like
we have
3
40 to
meals a day. And
Yeah.
you have like 40 or different 50 varieties of food.
Yeah.
And it's different, like every meal it's different. So there's lots of food involved, lots of dancing involved. And yeah, and then the second half was
the
Sangeet.
haldi ceremony.
yeah, the haldi.
It's turmeric that we use. So it's said that if we use that turmeric along with some other components, it brings the brightness and the shine on the bride and groom's faces. So it was back in the 90s. It was celebrated more authentically. these days it's more like with the flowers and all, dancing and all, and everyone wears yellow color. So also we color coordinated for each and every function. In the morning we were in the blue, in the afternoon we were in yellow. So it was dancing and all. Again, dancing is in each and every part of marriage. And then there is this final, the last part of the second day, which is, I would say, Sangeet. Sangeet means music, musical night, where my family...
It's again dancing.
Again dancing, but this dancing involves a stage. All the audience is sitting. My parents are on the stage. They are dancing for me. His parents are dancing for us. And my friends are dancing for us, like a dedicated song and a practice and all. And then, yeah, I gave a surprise performance for him. I dedicated a song and I danced over there. And then we had a couple dance over there in front of everyone. So yeah, it was full of night, like dancing night. And that was the end of second day. Then the third day, this is the marriage day. And so it's like the groom comes either on in a car or on a horse. And
the tradition is to come on a horse.
But he chose.
But I didn't want to do it because I don't want to like trouble the horse, because like you're sitting on it the whole day, and then the horse is usually kind of like, I don't know, sedated or something, because they have to keep it in control. I didn't want to do that, so I just chose to come in a car.
Yeah,
the
I really
tradition is to come in a horse, on a horseback.
Yeah.
And then usually like your family comes with you. So for the groom side, so the bride side is already waiting inside the the location where you're gonna get married, and then the groom comes.
Banquet.
The banquet hall, and then the groom comes on the horseback with his family, and then everyone's dancing again. There's music, and then that's the traditional way. But like we
so there is this beauty that by just looking at the attires of the people, you can say which ceremony is going. Okay. It's it's being celebrated. It's that easy and it's that generic. Okay, if it is this ceremony, if it's Sangeet, you have to wear yellow. You have to be in this specific attire. Something like that. And then he came, and then we have this.
And we had the ceremony, the marriage ceremony, which lasted for 4 hours.
Yeah,
and
so
I was so hungry. And then the priest was just, I don't know, like he kept saying prayers and prayers and prayers, and then it took 4 or 5 hours, right?
5 hours, yeah.
It lasted for 5 hours, and we were just so hungry. At that point, we were done. And then I told the priest, please make it finish. And then the way you get married is like, there's like a fire, and like there's like a circular, how do you say? Like a circular stage or something, and then in between there's like a fire, and then you revolve around the fire 7 times,
taking different oaths.
Yeah, taking different
vows,
oaths, like the vows
that he'll take care of me, he'll provide me with food and all.
Yeah, and
he won't see any other girl.
Yeah, and then we get married.
Yeah, that's how we get married. And then this.
So the 7 doesn't have anything. I know a little bit of the story, that's why I'm having this question. So the 7 vows around the fire, it doesn't have anything to do with the 7 years. So you marry for 7.
No.
Yeah, it's like, so you marry for 7 generations, right?
That's for generations.
Okay. Yeah, so
like 7 lives.
Lifetimes.
Lives.
Sorry, lifetimes.
Okay,
I'll die once and then again I'll remarry you.
So it's kind of like a vow that, like in each lifetime, so according to the Hindu tradition, you are reborn 7 times, like on earth. And then this is kind of like a vow, like 7, like each time I get rebirth, I'll always marry you, the same person, and it's like a... It's beautiful. Yeah.
Isn't it, I was thinking, there's a kind of performance you did, like you danced for him. Isn't that like really nervous for you? Like if anything
nervous.
goes wrong, what can happen really?
So I have stage phobia, and I'm like, even if I've practiced my steps for a year, I'm on the stage looking at the people, I'll forget it. That's for sure. And even my heart was pounding when I was on the stage working for him. But then I thought, okay, this is for him, whatever I do. And to be very honest, when I was on the stage, I didn't even look at the 200 people sitting there. I was just having eye contact with him, and he's the only one that matters to me. So that is what probably motivated me to dance over there.
Yeah, for me it's the same. I can't dance. For life of me, I can't dance. But I mean, it's okay. It's like it's a one-time thing, and then if she's happy, that I'll do it.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
How is it's different in Portuguese
Yeah,
side?
I wouldn't know because I've never been to a marriage.
I've never been to
So-
any marriage
only on the TV.
Okay. But
because
is
he's the youngest of everyone in the family, more or less.
Yeah,
One
and
of the
people are
youngest.
getting married less and
And
yeah,
later.
and I don't know that many people, so
Oh,
Yeah, but
it
I have
just
been in a
didn't-
lot
It
because
could
my
have
family
happened.
is huge. So I have been in a lot of marriage. And for us, it's like one day, maybe a little bit of the half of the next day. And it starts in the church with the
priest,
no, what, how do you say it? Not the wife, the man,
the husband,
the husband. We don't have any word, like,
groom?
the groom.
yeah,
Ah, yeah, the
he's
groom.
there waiting for her.
Yeah.
And then it takes a little bit, so it needs to be waiting for her. That's the whole idea is that he has to wait for her. She's preparing and everything, and then she comes with normally her father that gives her to
Away to
yeah,
the Santa.
yeah,
Please take my
Yeah.
daughter. No,
take
she's
care
a
of
problem.
yeah, take care of her.
Yeah.
And then we hear a little bit of some prayers and things like that, religious. And then we exchange the rings.
To the vows.
And do the vows exactly before changing. So we say like, I will take care of you, I will provide, I will be here for the good and the bad.
Yeah. Same.
And then we exchange, and then everyone like is there before the person, and we throw a little bit of rice
Yeah.
to the.
That is one of our tradition as well.
Okay.
As soon as we get married and we are about to leave the banquet, we throw the rice and the person behind us have to collect it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we throw the rice, and I think it's just before we leave the church.
Yeah.
The wife just throws the bouquet of flowers. It throws back, and
Yeah.
the person that holds it, he has to marry
Next, yeah.
So we do that, and then we go to some place to have food and dance, and just do like a big party with like family and friends. That goes until I don't know 2 in the morning, 2, 3. Everyone is drinking, dancing, eating a lot. We have like always at least 4 dishes, always on the table like for lunch, and again 4 dishes for the dinner. And normally, like before, people used to sleep in the place where they party. Everyone sleeps there. And then next morning it's just like everyone just relaxing a little bit because they are too drunk still. Yeah, that's the normal tradition in marriage.
No, it's one day.
One day, yeah.
I think in our case, drinking is not that common. We don't have drinks at our marriage.
some of them do.
Yeah, but some of the religions I would say.
People.
Some people can have drinks at the marriage, but we don't have. But we did had our parties like so. All of my friends. So tomorrow is my wedding, and tonight all of my friends were in my room, and his friends were in his room, and we all were partying. Yeah. So
And how does it happen usually? If you're not religious, do you still get married in church or?
At least one of them needs to be religious, so or the wife or the husband needs to be religious to get married in the church. If not,
what is the be religious? What does it actually mean?
it means
be
that
baptized?
baptized.
No, okay.
You have to marry in the church. So for instance, I have been baptized and Nuno has not. So if he marries me, he can marry on a church. If he was marrying someone that was not baptized, they could not marry in the church.
Where do you get married?
You can go like it's a place from the government, and you can
just
sign the
the
document,
paper.
and then you throw a party on your own.
it's the
like,
same like
So
court
You just-
marriage.
Yeah,
type of
code
thing.
marriage. You just don't have the ceremony. In the church.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a difference.
it's a big difference.
Yeah, but otherwise it's pretty similar.
Yeah, theirs is longer, and they have like different specifications for each part of the day.
Yeah.
And we don't. It's always like the same. You are dressed in white, and you also have and you have something blue, something gold, something new.
No, that's traditional.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's different. For them, I think it's longer, and we also don't have the idea of being married for future generations, because in our village, in the
We
village
only
of
have
our
one
country,
life.
we only have one life, so that's why it's different.
Yeah.
You marry for the life.
And yeah. And what about photos? Do you take a lot of photos in your marriage?
We hire a cameraman.
Because that's the only thing I know about marriage.
Yeah, we also have a lot of pictures.
That people
Yeah.
spend like 5 hours just taking pictures and being hungry because they want to eat. But the bride and the groom have to take pictures with
Yeah,
everybody.
everyone.
Yeah.
So they feel like
That's a memory, I think, so that we can remember. Okay, he was there at my marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of pictures from each function as well,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think so. Even if the marriage is of just 2 days, but the preparations and all starts at least 5 to 6 months back.
Mhm.
Like the shopping, the trousseau,
Yeah.
and all. It's too much. Like
It's
for
a
all the
lot, yeah.
functions, you need all the accessories and all. And it's
yeah, I don't know. But we plan it in Portugal.
We also plan it with a lot of months earlier, like at least half a year more or less,
yeah.
to prepare it.
I think the big deal is to find a space and
Yeah, to find a
And
space, to
in
decide
budget.
which kind of food do you want.
Yeah.
and who are you inviting and who are you not inviting?
Yeah,
what
right.
you're doing.
It's
have
the
a
bee.
bee.
It's the bee.
You want to participate?
I don't have any
You want
flowers
to
in
talk?
my hand.
You have something about marriages? You want to say? Okay. I think we just have one more,
Yeah?
and it's an important question. It's the last one.
Oh no,
Because-
I have another one
Okay.
regarding this.
So-
Two more. So one is okay. I think these are kind of combined. Like, how important is for you, or for you and for people in India in general? I don't know if you can speak for in general.
For the
Um,
billion of people.
To maintain the passion in a marriage.
To maintain.
Yeah, to maintain the passion. So I know
Passion.
Oh. That's a very.
because I know that the main focus, I think, it's being a partner and being the companionship. Do you think it's important to maintain the passion, and like how do you see like other couples? Imagine like your parents maybe to do it.
Yeah, I think it's important. I mean, it's also like when you're dating and then I don't know, you just got married or you're still dating, then you have still like a lot of passion towards each other. And then over the years, it gradually decreases. I think it's the same, but for me, it's important. I mean, for us, I think it's important that we kind of maintain it. Not, I know, I mean, for sure, like after 50 years, we won't have the same passion that we have now, but at least there should be something like towards each other, like we have to be passionate.
No. I think there is one different perspective I have over here. Is that as if I talk about my parents or a generation before us, what happens is after certain years of marriage, they forget their individuality and they get step into the roles of parents. You know, getting too much or thinking too much about the children's, and at that point of time, with the relationship that they share with the children's, they forget that they have a relationship with their partner as well. I think that is what I have observed, and that's how gradually the passion decreases, because you forget that this is also one relation which needs to be nurtured down the time as the time goes. Even if we are staying together for 10 or decade or 20 years, something like that, but still this relationship requires its own time. I need to invest that much time in this with this relationship. The same I have with my children. So that's how the passion will. Even if passion is a very a word which we will use for the young couples and the young newlyweds, but that craziness for each other, I would say, that needs to be kept alive. Yeah, I believe that, and we both want that. I know that he wants that craziness should be there, even if not on the same scale where we explicitly, do things for each other, but we know somewhere even a single flower can bring happiness on our face, and that's what he's doing. Yeah, that is important for both of us. And with the Indian culture, it is very much difficult to talk about other people, but my observation is being that they forget about their relationship with their partners and they get involved with the children too much, upbringing them, taking care of them, and maintaining the job work-life balance and all, that they forget this relationship also needs its own efforts. Yeah.
We also talked about that recently, and for us also in Utrecht, because for us it's also like, I think it's very good for the kids as well to show them what is love between the parents. And yeah, if eventually one day, if we want to have kids, I want to make sure that we still have a relationship. Like, I'm still a person, individual, that likes you individually, so we want to construct a relationship between each other every time, and to show them that to our kids.
And
if
you
we have
will have to approach your kids and say, okay, now it's time for mom and dad to
have like
to
our
have their
date.
time.
Yeah.
They will understand that it's a part of the
Yes.
of the relationship, and not only my mom is a mom, my dad is a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important I think it's important to show them that we are still people with our own desires
And who have fun
interests.
and are not
Yeah.
only taking care
Yeah.
True.
or mandating something.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen this, at least with Indian parents. Like, is it the case with your parents? Like,
For my family, I think they forgot each other, like that they were a couple, and they were like my mother was just a mother, and she was just taking care of me and my sister.
yeah, that's what happens. I
And
think.
now that we are not at home anymore, I think at first it was very hard for them. Like, who is this person that I've been living with him like for 25 years now, and I don't know him anymore, and my father doesn't know my mother anymore. So they are relearning to be together now because we are not there. But I think
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
that's
what
the-
happens.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what I was saying. Like that's how the passion fades away.
Yeah.
That's what you need to keep alive. That at least, if not that frequently, without kids, but once, if we have kids, then we need to make sure that this is our time. Then we can do whatever we want, but this without the kids, without anyone else, it's just our time.
Yeah, I agree.
My turn.
It's the last one.
Yeah, the last one. You said when we were talking minutes ago, you talk about you getting married because not because, but you were in India and Utsav was here, and that was important for you to continue together and in the same place. So my last question is, I think, a very important one for people in general who are apart from their partners and want to maintain a relationship. Is that how did you manage being away from each other for so long? It was like 8 months, right? Yeah. How could you maintain? And if it's possible to maintain for longer than that, or what's your viewpoint on that?
So first of all, now that we see that we have spent 8 months apart from each other, that wasn't the plan. When he left from India for Germany, we both were of the opinion that it's a matter of just 3 months. Within 3 months, I will be with him. But with our situation and all, unfortunately, it happened that we had to be away from each other for 8 months. So while we were living in that moment or in that time, we weren't sure that how long it's gonna be. So, and it was kind of uncertain. The uncertainty was so much that we were left with no other option. Even if I feel like I will just catch a flight and I'll run to him, I couldn't do that because I was not having visa. So that was the most. So it was at that point of time, I think the best thing which he did was, it's that situation. It's not you against me and we are separated because of our differences and all that. It's that situation which is keeping us away, which I think I was being impatient many of the times. At times he was impatient, but the other person has to be sane. If he's losing patience, that if he wants badly to be with me, but I have to make him understand, okay, this is a matter of time, this too shall pass and all that. And there were times when I was like, I just don't care, I just want to be with you. And he was like, okay, yeah, you come here, we'll do this and that. So that's how we could maintain. It's not if I fall, then he's also falling. It wouldn't have sustained that way. If one is falling, the other has to stand. That is the key, I would say, that kept us sane for so long. You have any other points?
Yeah, I mean, it was not just 8 months, right? There was also before when we were
Before,
dating.
yeah,
So
that was also.
I think like 1.5 years, to be honest.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But
But I think the key thing is like the communication. So I don't know, you have to be like, at the end of the day, you just like, you come and you speak to them, and then you be honest, like, I don't know, like what's happening, and then you speak, and then you make realistic plans. Okay, we'll be there together. So and then I don't know, it's also doing some few things for each other which kind of reminds you of the other person. For example, like I used to send like some food, used to like some pastries or some flowers to her sometimes, and then she did the same for me here. So like those like unexpected surprises, it's still kind of like, I don't know, it just makes you feel.
Yeah, we also had movie nights.
Yeah,
movie dates.
We used to do movie dates. Yeah, we did a lot of things just to be together at the same time. Like I know there was the distance, but we tried to spend as much time as possible as it was possible. Like she was working, I was working, and then whenever we had time, we used to spend it together. And it's not just talking. We used to like do movie dates or just play some games online.
Yeah.
So I think communication and just trying to spend time. It's frustrating, but if you know that at the end of the day that you're gonna be together, then it's worth it.
Yeah. I think that's I think that's the way I see it as well. If I was apart from you, but I think it's when you have uncertainty and you don't know when is it going to end.
Yeah.
It can be a bit tough when you're like trying so hard for something that does not happen. You were married right in that period.
Between that
between
one and
the,
half.
that 1.5
Yeah.
years you were married. You got married. Yeah. So in the marriage you said you would be together for forever.
Yeah.
And then you
we were separated for
separate ways. And when you are aligned in that goal, as you said, it's not us that are apart, it's that situation that keeps us from being together. If you are aligned and communicate well with each other, I think for a period you can pass through it, and I think it's really beautiful how you can maintain a relationship without being together. It's hard to imagine. Being in our case, living together for now almost 1 year.
Half a year.
No, but in Frankfurt, but in Lisbon
a little bit like
more.
8 months.
8 to 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's difficult to think about anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything to say on this.
For me, it's very hard to imagine. Like, we have not shared this on the podcast yet, but there is the possibility of me living in Prague and you in Vienna, because I got an offer, and that scares me a little bit, because we would also not know when we could move back together. I know that it's not the same, because like India to Germany it's a lot of time, but it's just it's weird because now we have our routines, and I like the idea of sharing life. So coming back from work and going home and know that I can share what happened on my day, and also like just going to the supermarket together. I like that small details of living together that will not be possible. I don't know. I'm also I'm kind of insecure in the sense of we will share our lives with other people during that time, and I don't know, I'm scared that our feelings change and we find someone else, because it's there, and you are not and I'm not.
In that sense, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't happen to me. I'm sure that's not the case for me, because as they did, communicating long distance online, with having dates, sending flowers, wherever, that would be on my mind. That would be it wasn't like, oh, now I have a void, now I don't have you, now I have a void in my life that I need to fill with another person. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm still in a relationship with you, our routines are just different and our living situation is just different, but I'm thinking about you the same, and I want to be with you just the same. Mm-hmm. And we just would have to deal with that in a different way, because we wouldn't be living together. But I think it wouldn't be a void that I would have to fill with another person. Mm-hmm. I experienced this in Erasmus for 6 months.
When you were
4
dating
months.
the other person?
Yeah,
because you did Erasmus.
It was
we were both with other relationships when we were doing Erasmus, and I broke up with the person because I said, okay, I'm going away, I don't know how to deal with this. I don't have the capability right now to maintain this relationship. So always be focused on communicating, because I think that's important. So I broke up with him, but you kept the relationship.
Yes, I kept, because it wasn't a lot of time. It was one semester, but then Christmas was in the middle, and we could be. She flew to the Netherlands, because ultimately we didn't see each other in the maximum for like 1 month or 2 months, so that wasn't that long. So yeah, and I knew it was like at the final date, and I would go back to Portugal, and everything would be the same. And yeah, it didn't make any difference for me. I knew I would be in another place doing another thing, but my mind is the same, my feelings are the same for the person, and I wouldn't want to make the effort to maintain what I have. And I think I know I could do it, and I wouldn't go apart or be a different person because we were living different lives. If that would have happened, it was going to happen anyway. I think, or it should happen anyway, because if I'm not evolving to be myself, just a better version of myself, if when I'm with you, I wouldn't do it if I'm somewhere else. I think it wouldn't change for me. Yeah, but it's difficult. It's a difficult topic. I don't think you have any other question or anything.
Yeah, we don't prepare any other questions.
Yeah, I think it was very valuable.
I don't know if you want to ask anything.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to know anything else from our side, or if everything is.
Or if you want to share anything.
Yeah. I think
just the last point that we're talking about. So I mean, before I also had 2 relationships, but it was long distance. It was quite a long time ago. I think one was for like 2 years, where we were apart from each other, and then the other one was like 1 year. And yeah, it's difficult. I mean, that's why I never wanted us to be apart, because I experienced that, and then it was I mean you try quite hard to be there for each other, and then try to communicate, but you still feel the presence missing, and then you want that. But so for us, we knew for a fact that okay, so it might take a long time, but we would be there for each other. But in the previous one, I had no idea like whether we would end up in the same place. So that was like a different feeling, and I didn't like that, to be honest, and I don't think I could ever do that again. But if you know at the end of the day that you're certain that okay, you're gonna end up with this person, no matter how far you live apart, or like for how long, I feel that it's worth it.
Yeah. And in those 1.5 year, there were situations and times where no matter for how long we talk to each other, all you need is just presence. Like 4 hours of call, 5 hours of call, that won't suffice the need of him physically being there. It's just one hug and things are so that is, I think, irreplaceable. Nothing can be replaced. N number of dates, gifts, nothing can replace that thing.
Yeah, it's not feasible.
Yeah.
I think in our perspective is different because we are in Europe.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are in Europe. We can take a plane or a train and go to each other, and
that is really good. Even if it's weekend, you can just just 4 hours of travel. It's weekend and you can spend together. So
for you
that's a totally different scenario. Over here, it was like we just don't know when we are gonna see each other again.
Yeah, I think if you communicate, you're honest with each other, every relationship.
That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
You want to end?
I started, you finished.
Okay, so you are a little bit on the camera. Okay, so thank you both. I think it was really very interesting. And
for having us.
Of course.
Almost an hour.
Yeah, it passed very quickly. And I think it was very interesting for us that we are here, obviously, but I think it will also be interesting for the people that listen to us. And I think it will be interesting to see what is the perspective of people around there about marriage. Like, do they want to get married? Do they value marriage? So if you want, you can always talk with us. let it be. You can always talk with us, and we see you in another time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.